Hey guys, it's Justin and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I've got a birthday card that I am sharing with products used from scrapbook.com. So let's get into how I created this fun no coloring card. I used the birthday pattern cardstock by scrapbook.com. This is the A2 size of the pack, and I went in and I grabbed a couple different patterns that I'm going to be using of this paper. So I decided to use the streamers on white, the birthday hats that are on blue, the confetti on aqua, and then also the star pattern on the yellow. So I'm going to be using these colors for my die cutting, but first I got to get some preparation done with the Bold Curves A2 die. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is use my low tack mint tape, and I am going to place it on the back of my Bold Curves A2 cover die, holding it into place and processing it through my die cutting machine. Now I am going to do this with the yellow star pattern, the aqua pattern with the confetti, along with the blue pattern with the birthday hats. So you can see I'm just sort of processing it through, setting them off to the side, and I'm just sort of stacking them in order because I am going to be alternating between the different patterns as I go along. This is also a great strategy to use to make multiple cards in one sitting, as I will have enough technically to create 3 backgrounds with this technique. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to get all of these little strips off to the side, and then I'm going to take an A2 cut size panel, and I'm going to use my Misty Precision Glue Press to start stacking all of these different curved layers. Now the first layer I'm adhering for the bottom is the birthday hats, then followed by the yellow star pattern strip, and then I'm going to do the aqua multicolored confetti strip, and then I'm just going to go ahead and repeat those colors for the final 3 strips for the top of my panel as well. I highly recommend saving your strips of paper like I had said, so you can go ahead and make multiple cards like this. You're just going to have to change up the different order that they're going to lie on your panel. But like I said before, this is a great way to use all of your scraps to make multiple cards at once. Next, I'm going to go ahead and grab the A2 Happy Birthday cover plate die from scrapbook.com and get that off of my backing and use that with this confetti streamer pattern from the birthday pattern collection. I'm also going to use the reverse side of the birthday hat side, which is just this dark solid blue. And then finally, I am going to go ahead and grab the rainbow glitter paper and use the aqua pattern of this. And I'm going to use that for a little pop of glitter behind my sentiment. So I'm going to go ahead and die cut each of these panels from the A2 cover plate. So I'm just going in each one so you can see me processing it through my die cutting machine. You may also need to use some shims to account for extra pressure required to die cut out the shape. Next, I will be grabbing from Picket Fence Studios some liquid white snowflake paper splatter, and I'm just going to go ahead, put a couple drops onto an acrylic block, and then I'm also going to wet it with a little bit of water, taking a brush from my stash and just splattering it onto my panel. This is going to add a really nice little pop of glitter to my background panel, and I just think it makes your card a little extra special and shimmery. So once I have that all taken care of, I'm going to bring it a little closer for you so you can see those white specks and how they catch the light with all of that extra glitter. I've got a little bit more die cutting that I'm going to have to do. So I grab my Sunshine Smooth cardstock in the 6x8 pad, and I'm going to grab this goldenrod yellow paper. I am also going to grab another color of aqua paper as well. And then there's almost like a mintier version. So we're going to use these for our card. And then I'm going to pull in the Yeehaw Disco Party dies. And I'm going to use some of the little elements from this, like the stars and the hearts, to go ahead and use them as embellishment pieces for my panel. To make my die cutting really easy, I'm just laying them all out on the strip of paper. I'm going to start with the goldenrod, and then I'm going to cut it into a small strip and process it through my die cutting machine. When I remove my low tack mint tape, I'm actually going to be able to then adhere it directly onto my other die cut panels as well. So here's my mint strip going through, and then I'm going to finish it off by doing the aqua paper as well. Now I am going to customize my die cuts a little bit to account for the sentiment I want. So with my blue happy birthday die, I am going to trim the happy birthday sentiment out of the frame. I'm trying to cut it as flush as possible to the border of the frame because I'll be using the frame actually and not the letters itself, but I can save those for a future card by putting them off to the side. Next, I am also going to repeat this with the aqua glitter panel that we had die cut. I'm going to be using the sentiment from this panel, and this is just going to add a background to my sort of streamer sentiment bit and just make a nice little pop of glitter in the back. I'm going to use my Misty Precision Glue Press to go ahead and adhere my darker blue frame on top of my Happy Birthday Sentiment die cut. And because I used the same die cut, I am getting a perfect fit on top of my panel. Now I'm going to go ahead and apply some more liquid adhesive to the back of my sentiment die cut, and this is going to be for that glitter panel that we're going to be adhering directly to the back that's going to act as a shadow piece. So I go ahead and I just sort of move it into position carefully, and once I have it where I want to go, I am able to fidget it around and get it right into place. For my little mini die cuts that we had die cut from the Yeehaw Disco Party set, I am going to use my Misty Precision glue press to go ahead and adhere all of these little hearts and stars onto my panel. I'm kind of going back and forth between my background and then semi-layering my die cut on top just to make sure that I can see all of those little bits still peeking through, that I'm not entirely covering them up with the happy birthday letters. And so I'm just kind of going back and forth, adhering my letters, making sure everything lines up the way that I want it to. I know that I could have put the panel on top first, but I wanted to give the ability to layer these little mini die cuts slightly tucked behind my letters if I wanted. That can be a little harder to do if I did already adhere this directly on top of my panel. So I'm just kind of going back and forth, getting everything into place, and then I love all these little pops of colors. They work so nicely. Now I am going to go ahead and finalize my background, and then I can work on getting everything together as well for the main sentiment die. One thing that I am going to need to do, part of my shadow glitter paper die cut doesn't fully connect to my frame, so I'm going to creatively use some of those little die cuts so that I can go ahead and cover that up, and you're going to see that in just a second. But I'm going ahead using my Misty Precision Glue Press to adhere all of the back of my main die cut sentiment panel and getting a nice coverage with it. I love this glue press because it really allows me to get a nice amount of glue, but not too much so that I don't have it seeping from under the die cut bits. So once I have that all nicely pressed into place, I can go ahead and begin the process of covering up some of the little bits that I need to still with my panel. So I'm using my little star right here. I'm going to go in and adhere that where the bit that is not connecting, and you're not even going to be able to tell that star covers it up just perfectly. And I'm also going to grab a couple other embellishments just to add to the frame so it doesn't look so stand out that that star was just on its own going across the border. Now I do go ahead and put a couple more little die cuts as well, just to sort of finish up this portion of my card. And then as that's all completed, I am going to go ahead and pull in some clear glitter enamel dots just to add a little bit more of a pop of glitter to my card. I know that the clear glitter dots don't show up super well on videos or in photo, but when you see it in person, it's really fun to get those pops of glitter that still take on the color of the background of your card. So I've got everything with my card all ready to go, and I wanted to take a moment to make sure to thank you guys for stopping by my YouTube channel today. I hope this birthday card gives you some die cut inspiration as to how you can use your scrapbook.com birthday supplies to create your next easy birthday card. Until next time, have a great day. Goodbye.